tech for it to understand, like, okay, each one of these things is a pillar. These are people walking down here. Like, this to me is fucking crazy. So you're going to see this happen a lot more. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to have any jobs pretty soon. Like, I would definitely say, like, that's, you know, you have the, what is that, the 9 leaving Asmongold. Like, oh, fuck, man. This is insane. And so you've got Rivendell here. Yeah, so if you are an artist, this has been a really bad week for you. And I want to promise you that it's going to get worse, okay? So if you're an artist and this is upsetting you and you're worried, I want to promise you that it's only going to get worse. This is only the beginning. There will be like man-made horrors beyond the comprehension of the human mind. You don't even know what it's going to be like, right? And I would focus on a career change. Yeah, exactly. And focus, like, go be a plumber or something like that, right?
Couple of things here. The first is the AI couldn't operate except by stealing. It's not creating this stuff. It's averaging this stuff by stealing a whole bunch of art that human beings had to create first, right? And yeah, so that's right off the bat. They have stolen the intellectual property of a creator who, and thousands of artists and creators that built something of value, which is Ghibli, right? And calling this stuff Ghibli style tells you exactly what it is. It's automated theft. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to go away. In fact, I guarantee you it's almost certainly going to be legalized, because if capitalists are stealing from artists and workers, that tends to get legalized in our country, right? That tends to be what they want, because we live in a dictatorship of the bourgeoisie, dictatorship of the capitalist class, dictatorship of the rich, however you want to put it. So when the rich people steal, it becomes legal. When poor people try to keep what they create, that's when they get called communists. The second thing is, I think he's wrong. And I hope he's wrong. And what I mean by that is, Asmongold is acting as if this is going to devalue art. And I think that's not right. It's going to devalue a certain type of art. A certain type of art, which is the art made to be digitally distributed. And the type of art that people are going, who care about art, that people are going to start to move toward, is going to be the types of art that can't be made by AI. We're talking about tapestries. We're talking about sculptures. We're talking about things that are painted with different types of materials. We're talking about rugs. We're talking about just sculpture and things that require physical craftsmanship, pottery, analog art. Now, for many Philistines like Asmongold, see, the thing about Asmongold is he represents kind of like, I think Asmongold and Donald Trump represent what makes America weak, which are small-minded, lumpen proletariat coded capitalists, basically Philistinic people who don't create art, whose entire being is about consuming and taking credit for the work of others, right? And then stiffing the people that actually did the thing. Now, I think it is true that this is inevitable, right? If AI remains free to use and you can generate this stuff for free, well then, yeah, it's going to undercut artists on this type of digital animation, or, you know, that is definitely going to be undercut. But the other thing is this really actually being priced the way for how much it costs, right? Like, that's the other factor, is right now we are in the Uber phase. You remember when Uber was like super fucking cheap? Remember when you could Uber for like $10 and it was way cheaper than a taxi, and everybody was like, wow, Uber is so much better than taxis, because Uber was like running massive deficits and running because Wall Street was pouring billions of dollars into the company. So they were able to sell the taxi services at a loss leader, and they would compensate the drivers well. Remember that shit? That's what's going on with AI. We're not actually not being charged for the processing power. We're not being charged for the bandwidth. We're not being charged for the electricity. We're not being charged for the data centers. They're basically being offered for less than cost, so that people become more and more accustomed and dependent upon these AI tools. When these AI tools actually, you have to buy them for their fair market value, good fucking luck. And like, this is the thing that I think is really being underestimated by people like Asmongold, is that these capitalists are not they're not doing this because they like you. They're not doing this because they want to advance humanity. They're doing it to make fucking money, bitch. AI is only by compute power, and that's only going down. That's be wrong. Compute power also requires physical resources like electricity and computing chips. Those are physical resources in the real world that have limits on their production. Like, you can only make a chip when you have enough of a certain type of material, and you could only run the chip if you have the appropriate level of infrastructure, water, electricity, internet connections, internet backbone. All of that has to be beefed up, and that all costs a lot. I watched all of Andor and it was great. Mike, thanks for the recommendation. Oh, I love it. It's great.
It was spam, but AI had to learn to remove watermarks, and that's blatant theft. AI had to learn to remove watermarks, and that's blatant theft. And I want to also kind of like, okay, sure, yeah, sure. Nobody cares, though, right? Because if somebody found out that somebody used AI, it's not going to decrease their enjoyment about it. Just because you say something is...
That's actually not even true. Already, a large portion of people are like, oh, that's AI slop. And when people find out that something they have is made in AI, like, for a lot of people, they're like, ew. There's already a social opprobrium in a lot of art spaces for AI slop. That's not true at all. I mean, maybe he doesn't care, again, but he was somebody who was comfortable. It's funny because, like, I talk about this a lot, but I'm going to remind you guys that Twitch is basically built on open intellectual property theft. Like, the entire premise of Twitch, outside of like a guy just sitting here talking to a camera like I'm doing, is premised on property theft. And I don't just mean like just chatters doing React content. I mean, people playing video games on stream is intellectual property theft. Now, because of the Wild West of the internet, and because video game companies have decided that the advertising, guerrilla marketing value of streamers playing your game is greater than, maybe they end up making more money because there's, tremendous advertising value in people playing your game. It still doesn't mean that it's not intellectual property theft. It is intellectual property theft. We just managed to bungle ourselves into a situation where most gaming companies decided to let you do it. Most video game companies let you decide to go and play their game and show the entire content on your stream. If they wanted to, they could DMCA your ass. for playing a video game on stream. They could sue you for copyright infringement for playing their game on stream. They could DMCA any clip of a video game that you put. I'm talking about gameplay. I'm not just talking about, cutscenes. That is the reality of intellectual property law, right? And yet these companies have decided largely not to do that. Because law isn't the same thing as practice, right? And I agree with Asmongold about the idea of, they're stealing. Like the AI, there wouldn't be anything to show you with AI if they didn't do a whole bunch of illegal shit first. That's the reality. So the question is, why are we allowing these AI companies to violate these laws so egregiously? Meanwhile, I know a bar owner who was sued because somebody played a cover of copyrighted music in his bar. I'll say that again. I know a bar owner who was sued because somebody played a cover of copyrighted music in his bar. He was sued for copyright infringement by the label. And this happens all the time. And that is a original performance. An original performance. Not like taking the music and playing it in his bar and charging for people to come listen to it. No, an original performance of the song was done without a license at a commercial venue, and he got sued. You just say, congratulations, you won the lawsuit. However, I'm not going to give you any money because I don't have any. He owns a bar. Do you not know how lawsuits work? Do you know what a sheriff does? Serious question. Do you know what a sheriff actually is? Do you know what a sheriff actually is? Do you know how that actually works? Like, you've probably seen sheriff before, and you think like cop in kind of a generic sense. That's not really true. Although sheriffs can do that. What sheriffs do is physically enforce judicial decisions. That means they will come to your house and take your shit. They will go to your bank and take all your money out of your bank account. Do you understand? They will physically come and take shit. They will grab your ass and take all of your shit. Physically. That is what the sheriff is for. You lose a lawsuit and you go, I don't want to pay. The sheriff will come and take it from you. I work in the VFX industry, and for 2 years now, there's been a minimum production, which sent the industry into complete disarray. With many VFX companies collapsing and a record number of unemployed people, it wasn't as bad even during COVID. I have a feeling Hollywood execs thought AI is going to replace stuff, if not today, then in the future. They just wait. It didn't greenlight any shit. Yeah. And the sheriff is mean. In fact, I consider sheriffs to be the meanest law enforcement there is. I think sheriffs are usually meaner than cops. Let me see if I can find some examples.
A major uptick in evictions. We told you how a new report reveals they're skyrocketing, up 45% in the last 5 years. And tonight, in our exclusive report, we show you what that looks like as it's happening.
These are numbers for Chittenden County only. Some evictions were on hold during the early years of the pandemic, which kept people in their home for longer. But that ended, and evictions, as you can see from this next set of numbers, well, they started to climb back up pretty steeply. They jumped from 142 in 2022 to 300 in 2023, and they continue to climb.
Channel 3's Ike Ben David was there as sheriffs carried out a court-ordered eviction today.
Go, guys. Be safe. Going hot.
Sheriff Daniel Gamlin with some final words before his team conducts a court-ordered eviction.
In the last couple years, things have really amped up with these.
Extra deputies called in. That's because police were at the home just 2 weeks ago to round up drugs and guns.
This house is a known drug house with bad people in it.
The eviction due to that illegal activity and unpaid rent. Deputies surround the house, guns drawn.
Sheriff's Department, open the door!
They knock, no response, and waste no time.
This is a more like sympathetic eviction because it's like, wow, these people are doing horrible crimes, right? But they'll do the same shit to you, like to a granny who's 80 and, you know, forgets to pay her rent because, you know, she's got dementia. They'll come in there and throw her right out onto the street.
Busting down the door. Deputy Sheriff Derek Kendrew, wearing a Channel 3 mic, confronts the people inside.
Here's what happened. We need a positivity ID, everybody, okay? Then you can collect whatever personal belongings you have here. We'll give you a few extra minutes and it's your house. But at that point, the locks get changed, place gets boarded up, and you can't come back. If any of you come back here, you'll be arrested for criminal trespass, okay?
We're running them now to see if any of them are wanted.
The deputies work to ID all 6 people inside. Those who don't have a warrant are free to leave because the deputies are only here to do the eviction.
We got one that's got a warrant. We're taking him out of here.
One person was taken into custody. These pictures sent to us from the sheriffs show what the apartment looked like inside. They say they confiscated several bags of crack and cocaine. There were needles and other evidence of drug use, as well as suspected stolen bikes. Workers boarded up the house, and the eviction is welcome news to neighbors who say the house has been a long ignored problem.
Champlain Housing seems to be indifferent.
Champlain Housing Trust owns the building. They oversee hundreds of subsidized apartments in our region. CEO Michael Monty says he was aware of this problem property, but evictions take time.
We knew this was going on for about 6 months. It's taken that long to get to this day.
He says the agency tries to avoid evictions unless the problem gets to this point.
Yeah, it's an economic impact. It's a social impact. And that's why we do the best we can not to have evictions.
And that issues like this are like playing whack-a-mole.
Is it a growing problem? Yeah, I would say, yeah.
He says he's working with lawmakers and local leaders to change how court-issued evictions work. He knows the impact it can have on neighbors and the community.
Because we need to move faster. When it comes to these situations, we need to be able to move as quickly as we can and not let it delay.
The sheriff calls this eviction a success. No one was hurt.
Yeah, it went better than we thought it was going to go.
And they are on to the next eviction this same afternoon. Where those tenants go, we don't know. In Burlington, Ike Ben David.
Wow, great fucking journalism you did there. You gave the exact propaganda the sheriff department wanted you to do. Amazing. What journalism? You could have say like, hey, where are you guys going to go? We need another video. Wait, why does this what happened to this video? Heartbreaking eviction brings mover to tears. Wait. Why is this video broken? Why they remove this one? Wait a minute. You can't humanize the evicted? Let me see if I can. Let me search for this video. See if I can find it. I literally was looking for one of these. Oh wait, it just deleted it. It's just deleted.
Adolescence tells the story.
Amazing. Could federal sheriffs enforce judge orders on the executive or legislative branch, or do they have no motion? The answer to that is they have no motion. I think technically marshals are actually under the executive branch. Federal marshals under executive branch. Okay, maybe not. Oh, it does. Yeah, see, it operates under the direction of the U.S. Attorney General, which is the executive branch. It is the enforcement and security arm of the judiciary, but it operates under the command of the AG, which is Pat Bondi or Pam Bondi or whatever her fucking name is. So good luck with that. He's like one of the biggest Trump loyalists. So she's not going to enforce judicial orders against the executive. Pat Bondi, Pam Bondi, whatever her fucking name is.
Stolen doesn't mean that everybody else in the world has to care about it. I understand what you're saying, but you still have to have other people care about it in order for it to be true. It was spam, but AI had to learn to remove watermarks, and that's blatant theft.
I love Asmongold because he'll just shift between, like, that person should be evicted because technically, or that person should be deported because freedom of speech doesn't apply to them, right? Even though it clearly does under the Constitution. To, well, yes, that's, but, you know, he says, but there's a law that says the Secretary of State can deport anyone they want. So I guess we get to deport anyone they want. Then somebody's like, hey, these AI companies are, you know, stealing our intellectual property. And he's like, well, they're breaking the law. Who cares? You have to make people care. It's sort of like, you know, basically, if you want to understand Asmongold, he's like most conservatives. There's this quote that comes from the internet, which is a very good quote because it explains conservatism in a nutshell, which is they believe the law should bind you and protect them. Meaning, Asmongold's shit gets stolen, he'll want the hammer of the state to fall down on your head, right? But he steals your shit, too bad, so sad. Nobody cares. Chrissy Courtney, thank you for the tier 1. The presidential system sucks. I mean, it's gotten more and more. The power has been concentrated in the presidential system because the legislative system has too many veto points. This is why the United States is falling apart, because the legislative system is too hard to pass laws through. You have to have, you know, 60 senators, which are already anti-democratically, assigned. You know, California has 2 senators, but so does Wyoming and Vermont. And, like, that's insane. Are we going to cover Canada? Yes. Actually, let's do that now. Oh, hold on. Let's keep making fun of Asmongold. Let's watch Hassan's coverage of Asmongold because this is a great way of DSA fishing out people.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't believe in anything other than personal gain, which is ironic because it's like quite literally, definitionally what a grift is. What is this? Disney, the day of anti-woke university funded?
Now, why they not like Snow White? The reason why is that the actress that plays Snow White, she acts like a all the time.
I'm a narcissist. Original cartoon came out in...
For a Twitch streamer to watch a, like, clip compilation where someone was obviously being self-deprecating joke where they say they're a narcissist, where they're being self-aware and going, I mean, you kind of have to be a little bit of a narcissist to want to go in front of a camera and act or talk and expect people to listen to you. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you more listenable than anyone else? You have to have a little bit of self-importance. You have to have a little bit of narcissistic traits just doing this. Anybody who wants to go in front of a camera and be like, look at me perform, or go in front of a camera and be like, listen to my political thoughts. You have to have a little bit of narcissism, right? And talking about that and laughing about it and being self-aware are ways of trying to keep yourself in check. And these dumb fucking rat fucks are being like, she joked that she was a narcissist. That's what a bitch. It's like, what?
1937,
yeah.
And very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big...
She criticized Snow White for being old. and having bad ideas in it. What else was going on in 1937? Oh, the Nazis were in Germany, rounding up the Jews and the commies and the socialists, right? Which, according to Asmongold, they were just trying to keep Germany for the Germans at that point. I think there might be some bad ideas in the 1937 art, maybe.
Focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. That people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. We absolutely wrote a Snow White that is not going to be saved by the prince. She's not.
I legitimately think that Asmongold is, like, look at his face. Like, they're obviously having a little mischievous fun, which is exactly what he's doing. It's like crazy. They're doing like a little mischievous fun, a little bit of trolling, a little bit of jokes. And he's a lame as fuck out there, dude.
She's gonna be saved by the prince, and she's not gonna be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I just don't understand how.
I'm going to reframe this in a way that Asmongold would consider to be based. If this was a white man, okay, talking about like, we're not defying Alexander the Great any longer, okay? Alexander the Great is great, and greatness implies he's not gay. I don't care what the history books say. He's not a gay man, and he didn't have a weird relationship with his mom, okay? We're going to focus on all the hard dick dominance that Alexander the Great engaged in. Okay? He's not bisexual. He's not gay. He only women and not his mom. Don't say that he his mom.
Like, if Asmongold like 300? Like, does Asmongold like 300 the movie? I bet you he loves 300, right? I bet you he loves 300. This is exactly what we're talking about. 300 is this. For closeted conservatives. Every conservative you know who likes 300 is closeted, is a closeted gay man. They are Norm Macdonald, a deeply closeted gay man. It is honest to God the gayest movie in the world. There isn't, like, hardcore gay pornography is not as gay as 300. Legitimately, what makes you a villain is being sexually interested in women in that movie. Hey, Mike, I'm hoping to get out the Alyssa Mercante interview today. We'll tell you if I'm done before the end of the stream. Hell yeah. Thank you, Toasty. Is that why I've never liked that movie? I think the movie doesn't hit for me. It doesn't hit for me. I just don't think it's any good. Ethan Klein deleted an Instagram story to correct his misogyny. He reposted the same story but replaced the word bitch with loser instead. But he forgot to censor the fact that AB shared the post with him, so he deleted the second story too. Yeah, I mean, did we talk about AB yesterday? Did I even mention it on stream? Did I like show what he said about me? Did I talk about it? I don't even remember. Okay, well, he got massively ratioed and yeah, he looked really bad. And again, I just want to reiterate, AB, my dude, the entire stream is just about attacking me and Hassan and Frogan and Denims and various other left-wing creators who are talking about Palestine and attacking pro-Palestinian advocates as they're being kidnapped off the street. Like, you can't pretend that that's not the entire fucking show now. Ethan and team criticized someone the other day because someone called someone a bitch. Yuck.
There was a video like that.
Oh yeah, and you know, feeding people to Ethan Klein so he could harass them. He could harass them. I mean, that's pretty gross, right? Like, that's not you just sitting there and being neutral. He isn't in it for the drama like me, though. Me, who's been talking about Palestine and Gaza for literally years and years and years and years, when nobody else gave a shit about the issue. I was doing streams covering the history of the occupation.
Of a hard, muscular Alexander Skarsgård, who is not reactionary at all, but let's say for the sake of this argument, he would be going, oh yeah, based. Okay.
Here's an example of what I'm talking about. The United States supports a genocide in Yemen and ethnic cleansing in Palestine. Is there any crime we won't excuse as long as it makes money for capitalism? $2021.
Okay,
I guess I was just doing it for clout, though.
Like, that's it. He was like, oh, finally, based. yeah, chat. Whoa.
He said he doesn't stand for his boss's views, but then is sending stuff to. I wasn't even like, that's the thing. I wasn't asking him to speak for his boss. I was asking him to speak for himself, right? Like, Ethan Klein said that Hamas, you know, all the hospitals in Gaza are Hamas command posts. He doesn't have anything to say? Like, that is outright genocide propaganda. Why is that genocide propaganda? It's genocide propaganda because it gives justification for Israel to attack hospitals by saying, nope, there's Hamas facilities there. And by the way, Hamas members going to hospitals to get medical treatment doesn't make them legitimate targets. I'll say that again. Hamas members going to hospitals to get treatment doesn't make the hospital a legitimate target. It's only a legitimate target if they are actively using it to launch military operations. Ethan Klein deleted an IG story to correct his misogyny. He reposted the same story, but in place of the word bitch with loser instead. But he forgot to censor the fact that AB shared the post with him, so he deleted the second story too. The TikTok was funny because she was covering her face and said nothing. It was sent in a group chat and meant to be funny. It had nothing to do with the conflict. I didn't expect that reaction, but enjoy. Y'all got the proof that y'all have been looking for. What you should actually do is show the group chat so we know the H3H3 podcast is the most moral podcast on the planet. At minimum, this is proof you're being incredibly stupid, accidentally complicit in Ethan's harassment campaigns, again, after doing the same thing with that other dude's location, and at worst, well... What other reason could there be for sending him this TikTok that had less than 1,000 likes? Yeah, it's... AB, you need to understand that you are helping produce a show that is spreading propaganda that is being used to justify a genocide against the people you claim to care about. Honestly, this is bad, and I would never work for a company doing this, but that's not all they're doing, right? They're not only just saying out their dumb genocide propaganda. There's plenty of shows out there that are doing dumb genocide propaganda. The other thing is that they're doing, and the main thing that they're focused on, is trying to silence anybody who disagrees with them. right? They're trying to make everybody who disagrees with them into some sort of terrorist sympathizer that should be deplatformed, banned, criminally charged, considered a terrorist, life ruined, lose their job, considered an anti-Semite, right? They're not just going out there and making their arguments to the American people, as bad as they are. AB is actively participating in efforts to try to silence people that are speaking out against Palestine. And AB pretends that because I am a white man, that means I necessarily have no connection to Palestine. And the answer is, it doesn't matter if I do or not. It doesn't matter if these racist campaigns against Arab Americans and Muslim Americans affect me at all personally. It would still be wrong for me to sit by and shut the fuck up. Isn't it funny how these liberals try to do this reverse psychology of, you're white, why do you care about brown people dying? And it's like, because I'm not racist, you fucking scum. You're goddamn right. I'm a white person and I care. Too fucking bad, bitch. And I'm going to keep caring. And I'm going to tell other white people to care. I don't care how cringe they are. Disgusting.
Finally, these guys are listening to the gamers. Yeah. That's what would happen, okay? But of course, it's Rachel Zegler, who is an outspoken Zoomer of the brown woman variety, which is, oh, Disney will never recover from this. Like, I don't care about Snow White. I don't care about the new version of Snow White. I don't know what Disney did with it. I don't have any opinion on the matter, okay? And that's fine. You can just do that, okay? You could just say that. You could be like, I don't really give a this. It's okay. Sometimes it's all right. You don't have to fake having an opinion just because you want the sweatiest, most balding, unwashed losers online to be like, yeah, my goat, my king. Ah! Yeah, she's disgusting. She has back hair. Like, you're a adult, man. Who cares? That's the thing. I feel like some of this shit is so forced and cringe, where people are just like, yeah, I got a take on this. Bet you're going to be shocked. And then says the most expected thing.
How your story about feminist empowerment is everything was great when a man was controlling the kingdom. A woman takes over. The kingdom goes to she kicks out the younger woman because she...
Okay, he 100% saw this in the comment on Reddit. Also, he did not come up with this on his own. It's like...
Also, how brain poisoned do you have to be by gender ideology? Which is what he is. By the way, Asmongold is the exact same thing as a cringe feminist. Like, the most cringe blue-haired feminist, Asmongold is the exact mirror of that person. A person who's like, kill all men, scum manifesto. He is the exact copy of that person, except incel dude who doesn't shower. Like, he's the exact same thing. He is the exact same person. If he was a woman, he would have blue hair and he'd be screaming about how he's a femcel and all men should die. And, you know, like, he is the exact fucking same exact thing. He's so poisoned by gender ideology that instead of seeing this as a story of, you know, an example of ambition and corruption and usurping rightful authority, he goes, it's cause she woman. It's cause she woman. Therefore, woman is bad government, man. It's like, are you like the level of cringe this motherfucker is? The equivalent of the most annoying blue-haired scum manifesto rad lib feminist. It's him. Incredible.
Kids movie. Oh my god. It's not. Yeah. Old LaFontaine tales. I don't know what Snow White is. Is Snow White? Snow White's not LaFontaine, right? I don't It doesn't matter. None of those things are woke, okay? They're not about feminism or feminist empowerment. They were written at a time when, is it Brothers Grimm? Oh, even worse. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's not La Fontaine. It's a Brothers Grimm story, which is infinitely worse, okay? Germans should be nowhere near literature. Germans should be not allowed to write any novels, let alone children's novels. Okay? It's just up. It's just up, and dare I say, explains Nazi Germany when you realize what the child literature is for young Germans, except for Karl Marx. I mean, but he was in England. It's different. Prussian doesn't count. I mean, Russian literature in general is also, I'm suicidal. Life is a sequence of endless disappointments, and we're all going to die. Actually, I'm just going to kill myself before I die in an untimely death. God, growing up in Turkey, we read some of the saddest, really. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think Brothers Grimm is or any part of Brothers Grimm is a feminist empowerment story.
She's jealous about it. And then the younger woman goes to another man's house and cleans up all their houses. And this is the story about feminist empowerment? It's like some kind of sick joke. You're the fairest of them all? Oh, God. I don't even know what this is. Is this the actual image? Is this actually from the show, the movie? I don't know how you let this happen, man. I really don't. Oh, my. Vance to your face. It is.
Yeah. Weird.
That's it. That's the take. He read like a couple Reddit comments. Oh my God. 2.4 million views. Dude, how can you not recognize that this is just, we've devolved as a society, dude. I'm sorry. But like, come on, dude. He is a 2-minute clip, him just reading one Reddit comment bar for bar, and then basically being like, look at how ugly she is. Yeah. Look at her weird, ugly face. Yeah, she's got an awkward face. Me, on the other hand, beacon of physical perfection, chat. Right? He did.
Well, part of his ideology is that men are just not judged on their looks, right? Like, part of Asmongold's ideology is that men just don't get measured on their looks. What they should be measured on, I don't know, right? If you judge men based on money, then you're a gold digging whore, right? If you judge men based on their looks, then you are a promiscuous slut. If you judge men based on their intellectual contributions or their professional career, then your standards are too high. I think the main problem that people like Asmongold have is that anybody measures men at all. Like, they are, and I said this before, like, the best way to understand Asmongold is a person of permanent adolescence. He wants to be a boy forever. He wants to be a boy who just ticked over into puberty. He wants to return to his life when he was 13 years old. Peter Pan syndrome permanently. If you judge him on anything, then you're evil. And like, his room being a disgusting mess full of filth is a sign of the Peter Pan syndrome, right? Because he wasn't raised right, or his brain didn't develop right to not want to be surrounded by literal filth. So to him, not cleaning his room is some sort of act of protest against who? I don't know. I don't even think he knows. And I think one of the reasons why he hates Hassan so much is Hassan is actually measured based on who he is, what he's accomplished, what he stands for, what he looks like. And people find Hassan to be much more attractive in all those ways. And Asmongold wants to be the avatar of everybody who's against men ever being judged or held accountable for anything. And the thing is, like, this is kind of the essence of the modern the modern international fascist movement. It's a movement of men nostalgic for childhood. They don't really value masculinity. Not really. Do you think Ben Shapiro and Asmongold would be the examples of masculinity if they actually cared about it? You have a failed Hollywood screenwriter and a what do you even call Asmongold? Sloppy man-child? I mean, what is it? Like, what do you even? How do you even describe what it is?
Blizzard's been attempting to appeal to the modern audience types, and it looks like Blizzard is starting to.
I think they need to stop doing that. Like, they've added like 2 or 3 characters into Overwatch that aren't fuckable. Why would you do that? What are you, retarded? Really? What? Why? Nobody wants that.
He thinks he's cooking. He thinks he's funny. Like, I only think that you find that funny if you're like literally 12. I think you have to literally be 12 where your parents don't let you say the no words. Also, it's good to know that Asmongold is rubbing his dick raw to the Thing in Marvel Rivals, right?
$24 minutes on it, 1.6 million views. At least he put a different shirt on. He's not wearing the same crusty ass white t-shirt with pit stains on it. You know what I mean? This is a
How
different.
is he even getting pit stains? Like, pit stains usually come from like your antiperspirant. Like, is his sweat actually rotting on the shirt?
Totally new look, new and improved look for Asmongold. This was the clip earlier. That's what I mean. It's like a 1 minute thing. First, it's like his editor slamming Asmon, calling her a in AI format, and then it's just basically saying like, she's dumb. She's dumb. And also I'm gonna read a Reddit comment bar for bar about how you know, Snow White is a feminist empowerment thing. It's we truly are cursed to just live through Gamergate shit for the next several decades, aren't we? Yes. Was he always this crazy? No, not like this. I mean, he's always been a farmer for sure, but he saw the way the wind.
Wait, his AC, there's no way his AC unit doesn't work, right? Wait, are you guys claiming that he says he doesn't have air conditioning? Global warming is going to solve this problem.
Was blowing and
he'll get extra sweating whenever he looks at
very
through
quickly
computer.
went
It's
with
just
it.
like,
and now he just does this.
His
thing.
computer will shut down from overheating. That's what I mean, by the way. Like, what? He doesn't have AC in his streaming room because he's in the attic. He does? It was installed 8 months ago? Okay. Oh my god. Can you imagine installing AC in Asmongold's place?
I literally heard this take from a 63-year-old maintenance worker. I just told him the movie probably sucks. Don't worry about it. Anyway, the closed plant. They closed the plant. And my last day is tomorrow. Please buy me gently used trolling motor. I'm late for the ice out catfish bite. What? Please, not now. I mean, you can't be dropping bombs in here and then going caught. Not now. I'm going to shake you a little bit. I'm going to shake you a little bit. I'm going to pick you up and shake you like a baby. Asmon used to volunteer to escort women into Planned Parenthood. So yeah, he's changed quite a bit. Wait, what? Are we, what? What the
Asmongold shows you what happens when the women in your life disappear. Like, he used to have a girlfriend and he had his mother. And like, as soon as they left, he's just become this man-child, man-baby who's just trying to be offensive to them. It's like, how did he get a girlfriend? Think.
Wait, hold on.
Let's just say that it was probably more of a financial decision than it was a genuine romantic entanglement.
The 2012 account.
But again, I don't know them, so what do I know?
So I'm inclined to believe this person. This sounds like something MHUD would make up. Okay. This sounds like this sounds like something MHUD would come up with and then sincerely keep repeating in the chat until I pick up on it.
Why would you vote for either? Yeah, exactly. That's your right. Yeah, I don't care or not. Like, the thing is, people that like.
What language is this? And what is going on here? How many years ago was this?
Nobody's gonna guilt me or bully me into voting. All right, or voting or not voting, or voting for a certain thing. I'm always gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna do what I think is the right thing.
Oh, it's from 2020. It's right there. I didn't even see it. 2020 election.
It doesn't matter when it is. It doesn't matter anything, man. I volunteered for Greenpeace and Planned Parenthood to support gay marriage and all that back whenever that wasn't even legal. I had just become an adult. I did that immediately because I said, you know what? That's wrong, and I don't care how many people agree with me. The truth is not a democracy. You do whatever you can to do the right thing.
Wait, why does he always LARP about like, well, the law's the law? Yeah.
What crimes did he commit personally to deserve deportation? It's hard to say whether he committed a crime, but there's a higher standard of conduct for people that are green card holders than people who are naturalized citizens. Yeah, there's a higher standard of conduct. And he wasn't meeting that conduct, so he's getting deported, hopefully. And there should be? Yeah, they should be. And I support this completely. I hope they do this to more of them. We have enough troublemakers in the country already without importing new ones on green cards to start even more trouble. Who needs this?
Yeah, based. The law's the law. Them's the rules. The happened to that guy? Asmongold, old Asmongold from 2020 be like, yeah, I'd be ice trucks. Back in my day, they used to call it the INS. Right? Department of Homeland Security. That's new. Post 9/11. Yeah. Based. Yeah. Doing community defense raids to ICE facilities.
I will never disagree myself. I will always do what I think is the best thing. Nobody can ever tell me what people can present opposite opinions and I will listen to them. But nobody's ever going to tell me like that I have to do any one.
Good timeline where Asmon becomes Asmon, go to jail. Yeah, I think it's because back then Joe Biden won. So obviously the majority opinion was kind of wokeness has won out. Wokeness has won out against the Trumpian agenda. Now Trump won, so wokeness is dead. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't believe in anything other than personal gain, which is ironic because it's like quite literally, definitionally what a grift is.
No, I think he's definitely more right wing. I think he's definitely more right wing. I think he's always been right wing. Maybe he protested for Planned Parenthood. Maybe he said Greenpeace is right. But he's always been right wing. I mean, the Andrews Nordic WoW character, you don't do that by accident, man. You don't do that by accident. That shit is insane.